Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the Garage Series episode number 3. And this time we're heading over to the West Coast, the wonderful coast. And I'd like to introduce you to Lynn Heine, who ministers at Greymouth Uniting Church. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Daryl. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, before we head on to your question, while in lockdown, you have finished your role as occupational therapist at the hospital. When did you start that role?
In March 1988.
Wow, so lockdown's
and finished. That's right, and finished on the 31st of March 2020. Wow. So we had to walk out the back door and into lockdown.
Wow. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Hey, so what questions are you mulling over on the coast?
A variety of things, because some of the things that have happened, I guess the key question that everybody seems to be coming, how do we hold on to the good things that have been happening in this time? Because we've been forced into trying out the different ways of being and operating, and some of them have had some beneficial unintended consequences. For example, with our Zoom services, which is still quite simple and quite small, but there are people who are coming into that who wouldn't normally come into our church building, mm-hmm. and who at the end of last Sunday's service said, so if I ring my friend and put her on speakerphone, will she be able to hear what we're doing on Zoom? And we said, well, yes. And she said, oh, well, I might do that then. So there's people who are just enjoying, I think, being present in that way, because it's, well, for whatever reason. And so how do we hold on to what in some ways seems to have been a time of restoration and recovery of a simplicity of living and a deeper understanding of the nature of what is essential. I mean, who would have held up well, some of us had, been saying, carers and caregivers are essential workers. Why have we been so slow to recognise that in how we speak of them and how we pay them? And who would have thought that shelf stackers and checkout operators would have been so important to us? And those some of those other things, like what I like to think of as being ordinary goodness, that's a cohesion within communities that we've been seeing every night on our on TV, of how streets and neighbourhoods are operating, and how people's teddy bears that are doing different jobs every day. And this the sense of connectivity and of trying to find things that nourish the soul. Catherine Walters this morning was just saying that apparently there's been Google's reporting a 300% increase in the word search for prayer. So how are we going to respond to that? How are we going to step into that area of searching